because I'm about to read it aloud. Welcome back to the channel, friends and fellow figure fiends. Today we are taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman from The Batman. Coming soon. Vin Diesel is. No, Robert Pattinson is. The Batman. Standard DC Multiverse style packaging. If not for this little fin on top, I rather kind of like the rectangular box, big healthy window. And you can see through on the sides there. Nice, clean, simple design. And then you get some artwork on the back with a great many of them. The artwork is just of the toy, which is serviceable. But you know, it's nice when they have like comic artwork or maybe a movie promotional shot. Otherwise, there's no read up or anything, just a tease for some other characters by way of their trading cards. Yes, same on the other side. Little window on top, logo again. Bunch of gibberish on the bottom. There's that barcode if you're into that movie. Wave 1, Batman. Okay, so out of the package, we have Batman, Robert Pattinson as Batman in the upcoming movie. Our best look yet. Not necessarily, I guess they have shown this thing, but one that you can manipulate with your mitts. And that is kind of what is fun about the toys. And it doesn't always hit that way. A lot of the Hasbro stuff, sometimes it's... but this guy is nice. I am enjoying this. I like the look and the feel of him. It's fairly standard McFarlane. They are not the Hasbro figures, so they're all going to be a bit different. You're going to see different things, and some of them are frankly just annoying to play with. I don't really find that to be the case here. And you get a lot of unique sculpt with these, because there's not a lot of reuse. Where they can, for sure, they will, but he looks really sharp. We're doing the now classic McFarlane Toys side eye. It's working for me. The cape and the shoulder pieces and even the ears on the cowl, the belt. The boots here, this is an overlay piece. They're all a softer rubber. And so that is a nice touch, that it's not just one thing where a Marvel figure might just paint all this stuff on, you know. You get a lot of good sculpting, even if you don't get a lot of the paint detail. But he has kept the price point low since the inception of this line, about $20, and I do love that. In fact, Walmarts were consistently selling them for $15.88 until most of them stopped carrying these figures, and I don't know why. Getting a little closer, there's a lot of crap for it to focus on back there. It is fairly clean, the paintwork. I mean, it needs to be to pull off the side eye that has kind of split the community. But you can see in the suit here too, seam lines on this thing. And this is fine. See, I did not watch the Twilight movie, so he is not stuck as that character for me. I think Matt Reeves, though, is most notable, the director of this movie, the writer too, whatever. For like the last couple of Planet of the Apes movies, which I don't think I even saw those. But you do get this nice sculpted rubbery cape, very pliable. I am fine with these. The cloth goods don't always do it for me at these smaller scales. I know some companies can pull it off, but these are typically fine as long as they don't hinder. You know, this isn't, say, longer than the legs or something outrageous like that. I'm liking the look of these sculpted pads and just the look of this whole thing. It's very... I mean, again, it seems impossibly put together, but if he was rich, you could subcontract it. It's not like he's Spider-Man, and we have to believe he's, like, sewing this together with the needle and friggin' thread, and he's putting all this crap together. A lot of great detail all over the thing, sculpted all over the thing. That's really the highlight of a lot of these McFarlane toys. Look at that belt. All of these nice pouches and things. Could use maybe some more. But they would be all blacked out, you know. People are often, paint these little things. But I was a soldier, and those buttons come blacked out. And in fact, you spend some of your spare time recoloring them with like a paint pen or maybe even a Sharpie. You know what I'm saying? I love the asymmetry here. We've got some of these straps. This is probably pretty accurate. You know, I haven't been following it that close. I did enjoy that first trailer. I don't know what's happening with the Bruce Wayne figure and the Riddler character and all of that, but I think this is pretty nicely sculpted. This is just a great figure regardless of what happens with this movie. This is solid looking. Going over the articulation, I will say I have not noticed any stuck or stiff joints on this thing. The head is on a ball peg, and there is a hinge that you can see from the back, so he will look up a good bit. He does have this here on the cape, which restricts you a little, but it is pretty malleable. I mean, you can look out that way. You can look down about this far. Not really anything below straight on, I suppose. No separate neck or anything like that that might surprise you. He does have the sort of pseudo butterfly. It's just like an extra joint in there in the shoulders, so you get some decent range in and a little bit back as well. Otherwise, that is just the standard ball jointed shoulder, rotates all the way around. This pad is hinged, stuck down here, and so it tries to get out of the way, but you could tear it off with effort. You know what I mean? There is a bicep cut there. A little sticky, but not, say, stuck. Fine. Double jointed elbows. Nice ratcheting. We do have visible pins, but you get good movement all the way up to this point. Wrists are hinged on these, they're famous little balls that take a little bit of work to manipulate the way that you want, but they are functional. They are fine. Diaphragm cut. We'll bend forward a little bit, back a little bit, and he does get a little bit of side to side on that as well. He really, though, he benefits from having this torso piece is socketed like a ball joint down into the crotch piece, which is not, like a big rubber diaper like it is on some of them. It is softer, though. It is a softer material, but it's a proper, like, bread basket, if you will. That is a nice compromise. Actually, I think that's maybe the nicest way to put that together that I've seen. They're on these fancy hinges here, so it's not just a ball, it's more of a hinge, but it is a separate piece that the thigh will rotate around on. He's not always a big fan of thigh cuts, which are nice, but you can achieve at least some of that with the setup here. I would prefer a thigh cut. Double jointed knee, visible pins. He will fold all the way in half, though, and this knee is like a soft overlay on there too, and that kind of helps hide some of those joints when it's more straight on like that and looks like a knee pad. That is kind of nice. Same thing down here. We don't have a boot cut, but this piece is a rubber overlay that kind of twists, or whatever kind of plastic. Big ball hinge at the ankle. Comes back this far, forward this far. And there's not so much rocker as it just kind of hinges on that. Matt Reeves has got our boy tweaking into a whole new era. So let's see what we can do with this one. You know what I mean? We'll just kind of twist at some poses here just to give, I think, an idea of what is achievable. These arms do come back. He's going to be able to do some deep knee lunges. Yeah. Going commando in his roommate's pants. Can come way down here. You can get this other leg up there. You can do some crouching. And this is really not bad articulation at all. Like I said, I know these sometimes look really stiff in package, and it's maybe not necessarily the case here. With both of these, you still don't quite get as much as you would think you would with both of these points. So it could still use some work. I know a lot in the community, people will take these apart and sort of core these out a little better for some more dynamic range. I do find that a lot of these are articulated better than you would think at first. Not all of them, for sure. Some of them are more McFarlane's propensity for making these great big sort of statues. It's like, we're looking for figures, bro. Hook it up, Wooden Tooth. Not mad about this articulation at all, though. As we move on to accessories, I will mention a couple of other things. The cape is glued down at the chest and on the back. He does have toe articulation, decent balance, and the arms do come out of socket at the shoulder if you push them too hard. They pop right back in, though. It's a thing. Otherwise, for accessories, he comes with the standard stand and just this grapnel launcher, the Bat Grapnel. Looks nice. It's fairly nicely detailed here, but he does not come with any other hands with which to, say, hold it more convincingly. Is this piece that looks similar to ones we've seen with other Batmen, but I wouldn't take for granted that it's not brand new, just slightly different how they do. It also has this peg on the other side that must socket in somewhere on something that I don't know where. Perhaps on a bike or some piece I'm just not seeing. Also comes with the standard trading card with the image, and here you will actually get a read-up, a little insight into the movie. You can pause it, you can read this, or you can skip ahead because I'm about to read it aloud. Batman, trademark, The Batman, data file, real name, Bruce Wayne. The Batman, trademark, is 2 years into his role as Gotham, trademarks, embodiment of vengeance, a nocturnal vigilante who strikes fear in the hearts of criminals, a reclusive scion of Gotham's richest family, questioning his family's legacy, the world's greatest detective, trademark, stalks the streets at night, employing a lethal combination of mental mastery, physical strength, and expert technology on his journey to becoming the city's symbol of hope. Fun. Alright, the Batman here stands about 7 3/8 of an inch to the top of his cowl. The pointy bits. Now here he is next to Batgirl and Robin, and I don't really have anyone from his specific universe. He was the only one of his kind. And next to a couple other versions of Batman, comic book and cartoon. Here he is with Superman and the Green Lantern. Dig the color contrast. So as I'm grabbing comparison figures, I realize how few of my DC Multiverse toys I have actually opened at this point. So today we feature the bastard Azrael as Batman, as well as, of course, the Joker. As in, you must be joking with the paint on that face. Here he is next to a couple of McFarlane's video game characters, the Injustice 2 lumpy-ass Flash, and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. Okay, here he is with my only other open DCEU figure, the worthy Wonder Woman. And the NECA Ninja Turtles movie Leonardo. Those look great together. And for some of that Marvel movie madness, we have the Fox franchises Venom and Wolverine. Now, Matt Reeves The Batman action figure from McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line is of course in 1/10 scale. However, my heart lies in 1/12. And so we wrap this up with the standard 6-inch size comparison, the Marvel Legends 2 Emo for Pizza Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends Morning Coffee Mostly Bucky Cap Deadpool. Come on, kid, say you're the knight. I could use a good laugh. So I will say I am digging this Batman figure, all on its own, and the design of the suit as well is sort of an application of like a practical military bat fetishist, you know? The side eye thing makes it difficult to achieve sort of the pose like I'm trying to achieve there with his come hither hand. It's only on the one side because there are no swappable parts, and he's forever clenching his other hand. He's got some really bad arthritis or something. This early in the game, bro? But I think it's a really solid figure, and I think you could go and see that movie and enjoy it or not. You could pick up this figure and walk away happy with a nice manipulatable Batman in your fists. And, you know, you're not going to have a lot of issues. It's not going to be like that gross-looking Bruce Wayne thing they're trying to push off on us. Or, you know, what other iterations? These really awkward-looking, some of the more awkward-looking Batman toys. Like the Premier Detective Comics one that he put out. I mean, there were some experimental, some odd choices on there, and it's not quite right. You hold it in your hands, and the head is too small, and the upper torso is crazy, and it's like, what the hell's going on here, bro? But I think this is a nice looking and feeling figure right here. I know for me personally, as much as I am enjoying this toy, whatever I think of that movie, I'll probably at least like it a little, but it will up my enjoyment of this figure even further. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, man. That's just, who can even know that? Who can even know that? I can't stress enough. Some of these look, I don't know how they look to other people, but they look like they're these stiff, statuesque, more Batman toys and so on. But it's his bread and butter. There's a lot of stuff to chew through, and I love that Todd is doing like the comic iterations. I'm a modern comics fan. I mean, an old comic. I've been a comics fan for over 30 years, but you know, I read comics is what I'm saying. So it's cool to see these storylines adapted, and especially, you know, movies and all that stuff too. The obligatory, you're gonna have movie toys, and this looks like a solid effort as far as those things go. I don't know, again, if it's 100% accurate, this suit design, but it looks great. It even smacks of like a sneaking suit, a Solid Snake or something. The feel of the plastics is nice. It's soft in a lot of places, and the articulation is fine. It's about as good as it gets for these multiverse figures, I feel like. Which isn't to say that it's terrible. Some of them are not very good. I feel like I'm talking in circles sometimes. I'm mesmerized by my colorful bat backdrop. I thought that would be fun to throw that up and then put this guy in front of it. At least I gotta review him before like I review like the Shocker or Spider-Man in front of the Batcave. which I could still do. I probably will do. We'll have a run of figures that are going to get reviewed in front of this Batcave set. It's kind of neat, man. It adds some interesting back matter here, if you will. I certainly wish there were more accessories. I don't mean to be an excuse machine for McFarlane Toys insofar as that I feel like that's what helps keep this price point down. Again, you kind of get a lot of plastic here for 20 bucks. You know, you don't always get a lot of paint. In this case, I think it's working what's here. And on some of the toys, it is a lot more noticeable how plain the paintwork is. But I if it's got to be one or the other, I dig on the nice sculpt. You can add some paint. It's much more difficult to convincingly add some sculpt. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see these figures like grow and improve and not just sort of be putting out what is essentially like the same as like the best figures, a marginally better figure than we got a year ago or something. And they are up and down for sure. You can't be guaranteed of their quality. Again, look at that Bruce Wayne thing. Just look at it. I'm going to give this guy a 4 out of 5. I think he looks great and he is genuinely fun to play with. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and check me out on the socials. As always, I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you guys, and I'll see you soon. Late.
I got fingers on my lips. Toys that I'm touching, I don't want to put them down. Instead, I want to talk about them. Yes, fresh. Smell the plastic that I crave. I want to shop. I can't be having Bruce Banner. I'm Dr. Robert Banner, Bruce Jenner. And you can call me Dr. Jenner. We can talk comic books, but we're here to talk toys. Be proud, make noise.